Get ready for all the highlights of Valley High School football. It's time for Action 4 Sports Sunday Sports Extra.
Hello and welcome to Sunday Sports Extra. We are into the playoffs deep. We're going to talk about week 1 of the playoffs and talk about week 2 to come. It's all going down this week with Brendan Fitzgerald of Action 4 Sports and from 956sports.com, Joe Bowling and Greg Selberg. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and get started with one of the big games last night. It was Harlingen hosting Los Fresnos. This game at Bogus Stadium, and to be fair, this game over quickly. Harlingen came out. They were insanely efficient. Kevin Ledesma in for the touchdown there, and pretty much all day long. 6 of the first 7 times Harlingen had the ball, they scored. And my goodness, that's about all you need with that. Brian Blake scored. Kevin Ledesma scored 2 touchdowns here, and he threw 2 to Randy Bermea, threw 2 more to Charlie Powers when it was all over. 66. Oh my goodness. This one was just, it was ridiculous. But Harlingen now heads on to the next round of the playoffs. They haven't played 4 quarters and against a non-Valley team since playing against Abilene 8 weeks ago, and that was weighing on Coach Manny Gomez's mind.
The conditioning part is a major factor because we haven't had a full game with our starters since Abilene. So, but that's certain things that we emphasize in practice. But yeah, I was hoping it would have been a little bit more competitive. You know, not to disrespect Los Fresnos, but they did a good job early on. But it's one of those things that we just did what we did, and it became a lopsided victory for us. But we'll take it.
So there you have it. It is Harlingen taking on Del Rio at Comalander Stadium, San Antonio. Say hi to Jerry Comalander if you're there. 5 o'clock on Saturday is the game time. Next up for the winner of that game will either be San Antonio Churchill or San Antonio Warren. Then, who knows, maybe Madison, maybe United, maybe San Benito, maybe East Central. We'll find out later on. So that's the road for Harlingen right now. But talk a little bit about Harlingen, Brendan. You were at the game. Are they peaking? Do they still need to be challenged? What do they look like to you?
They looked like Harlingen to me. I mean, they came out, they controlled the clock early on. It wasn't one of those games where they were up 35-0 in 10 minutes like they have done earlier this season. Long sustained drive on the first one. Los Fresnos not really able to move the ball to speak of, but they just looked like Harlingen. It looked like a regular season game, other than the fact that it was on a Saturday afternoon, but just business as usual for the Cardinals.
A collegiate atmosphere at Bogus Stadium, to be sure, in the 66-16 win. Harlingen wanted more from Los Fresnos. Los Fresnos was not able to deliver that, Joe.
Well, they delivered all they could, and Manny Gomez, I love that. You know, my players didn't get a chance for the starters to go for 4 quarters. Well, guess what? They hadn't done that when they went against Abilene, and they looked just fine there, too. So.
The efficiency of this Harlingen team is what gets me, Greg. They don't turn the ball over. They don't even turn the ball over on downs. They score and score ruthlessly and methodically.
Well, they need 4 points for 600, which will tie their record set last year. And I suppose that sometime in the first quarter against Del Rio, they'll probably break the record. But numbers are not as important right now as keeping the momentum going. They got to get back to business, back to work. Everybody's starting to talk about that next road. The dominoes are falling one by one. It could be a special year, but it ain't going to be anything if they don't come out and play against the Del Rio team that I believe is better than people think.
Absolutely, and you talk about the dominoes falling. I mean, Wagner and Judson are both gone. In their place, it is Churchill and Warren. You talk about the road down the line for Harlingen, and it is setting up for them.
Well, and, you know, it's been a while since the team won down here in the 3rd round, and Harlingen did it back in '89. They beat LBJ. I have to say it, and I don't want to jinx them, but it's looking good, guys. It's looking real good right now. They just got to play week by week.